Last week, WWE switched a number of superstars to the Raw brand, which has effectively created fresh matchups and a number of new feuds going into the year. This week's Raw started off with a handful of those new faces looking to be the new #1 contender for Seth Rollins' Universal Championship. But with so many contenders looking to earn that spot, WWE's Chief Executive Officer Triple H scheduled 2 triple threat matches with the winners facing each other to determine Seth Rollins' opponent at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. In the first triple threat match, the phenomenal one AJ Styles would defeat both Rey Mysterio and Raw's newest addition, United States Champion Samoa Joe, to advance through to the finals where he would meet Baron Corbin, who managed to jump back in the ring for the pinfall victory after Drew McIntyre finished off The Miz with a Claymore kick to the face. However, AJ Styles would be victorious in the main event, becoming the #1 contender for the championship, and the dream match between Rollins and Styles was officially set for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Whilst we can't wait for the two to clash in the ring, we feel that WWE is wasting such a huge match for this pay-per-view. This match should have been reserved for Wrestlemania 36. But apart from this huge match being set, last night's edition also confirmed that Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Aside from these 2 pay-per-view matches being made, we also saw the Iconics defeated again for the second week in a row in non-title matches, with Naomi managing to get the pinfall on Billie Kay in pretty much a nothing match. After the Raw Women's title match was confirmed, Alicia Fox went one-on-one with Lynch, and during the match there was a messy execution of Becky Lynch trying to perform a head scissors takedown, but it kind of ended up looking like an awful tombstone piledriver. Luckily, Fox was okay, even though it was probably her fault. Roode defeated Ricochet, and we had the return of Bray Wyatt with a new gimmick. There were, however, a few things that you might have missed. Things that WWE secretly told us. Number 1. Some name changes. Apart from a handful of WWE superstars experiencing a change of surroundings on a new brand, some wrestlers have been victim to a name change, either cutting it shorter like wrestler Andrade Cien Almas has experienced, or changing it completely. Last week, the reigning NXT Tag Team Champions the War Raiders joined the Raw roster under an entirely new name, that being the Viking Experience. The new name didn't go down well with fans, with many taking to Twitter to show their dismay and confusion as to why Vince McMahon decided to incorporate Viking into it, knowing the name sounded extremely cheesy. Well, it seems WWE couldn't ignore the backlash from fans and decided to change up the name once again, this time to the Viking Raiders. Now, whether you think this sounds better or worse, there is a reason for the change, and it's mainly down to 2 things: rights and marketing. McMahon is likely largely motivated by a desire to create a memorable name that he can protect should they prove popular enough for merchandising. The WWE Kingpin may feel that the term Viking invokes a powerful image and is distinctive. Another reason being thrown around for the name change is that the WWE wants to avoid the use of the word war in the name of a wrestler or tag team. Recall how the WWE changed the name of Raw as War following the devastation of 9/11. What do you guys think of the new name? Let us know in the comments down below. Another minor change was Bobby Roode's name, as rather than using the nickname Bobby, they reverted to using his full name, Robert. And he's also changed his look slightly, which leads us on to number 2, a ravishing throwback. Those who watched wrestling during the 80s and 90s will be very familiar with Ravishing Rick Rude, a wrestler who portrayed a narcissistic stud who would woo the ladies in the audience. He also sported a magnificent Tom Selleck-like mustache, similar to the one that Robert Roode has now grown on Monday Night Raw. Based on the similarities, his gimmick could now be a throwback to that of the Ravishing one. Roode even wears a robe to the ring, so all he has to do now is insult the crowd while showing off his ravishing body. Now that they moved Chad Gable over to SmackDown, effectively breaking up Gloriously Gable, WWE should go all the way with this, as nobody currently can play an arrogant heel quite so well as Robert Roode. Number 3. Mercy the Buzzard. Last night's edition of Raw also saw the return of the elusive Bray Wyatt, who hasn't been seen on WWE television since last August when he teamed with Matt Hardy and dropped the Raw Tag Team Championships to the B Team. Wyatt made a rare appearance at WWE's Starrcade pay-per-view, defeating Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match, but disappeared straight after for many months. Wyatt wasn't injured, but many had told that he was in creative purgatory, as WWE had nothing planned for him. But after dropping a good amount of weight and toning up in the gym, Wyatt returned, but under a new gimmick. No longer was he head of the cultish Wyatt family, he was now wearing beige chinos and a red jumper, acting as the host of a children's show called Firefly Funhouse. Frankly, we're a little disappointed that WWE missed out on the opportunity of calling the show Bray's Clues, but we'll get used to Firefly Funhouse. Those who think that Wyatt has done a complete 180 and has become Mr. Rogers or Pee Wee Herman should still be aware that there are still hints of a deranged character within him. During this segment, he acknowledged how he used to look and called himself a slob. Then he cut a life-size stand-up of his old persona with a chainsaw. He is no longer a bad guy, as supposedly he's turned over a new leaf. But he might not be able to suppress the demons that lurk within him for long, perhaps unleashing them in the ring against his opponent. We were also shown the two puppet/doll characters that have been in teasers over the past few weeks, and revealed their names to be Mercy the Buzzard and Pammy the Witch. Wyatt has in the past mentioned following the Buzzards, hence why a buzzard had been used as a character on the show, but the name Mercy could be a reference to a wrestler that the Wyatt character was based on. During the New Generation era, WWE introduced Waylon Mercy, a soft-spoken suddenly gentleman who had a vicious side in the ring. Mercy's character was based on a character that Robert De Niro played in the movie Cape Fear, and since Wyatt was based on Waylon Mercy, it could explain the name Mercy the Buzzard. The character is certainly interesting and we hope WWE goes all out with it. Number 4. Don't drink and drive. Former SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos made the move to Raw last week and were victorious in their match against Gloriously Gable. Though the team didn't have a match scheduled on Raw this week, they were backstage as Charlie Caruso managed to get an interview with both of them. Both Jay and Jimmy hyped themselves as the top guys on the brand and made it clear that they have Raw's tag team division locked down. But whilst doing so, Jay mentioned, "Uber's outside, do not drink and drive," and proceeded to look at brother Jimmy. Those who are unfamiliar with Jimmy Uso's run-ins with the law might not know that he's been arrested 3 times with DUI charges in both September 2011 and March 2013. Jimmy Uso was also arrested in February this year after allegedly squaring up to a police officer. This was after the couple was pulled over by the police during a routine stop. While DUIs are certainly no joke, at least they know how to poke fun at themselves. Number 5. Seth Rollins or AJ Styles will turn heel. Fans have been waiting for Styles and Rollins to clash in the ring ever since the Phenomenal One's WWE debut in 2016. Whilst our wish has been granted, as the two are officially confirmed to lock up at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with the Universal Championship on the line, it's clear that one will turn heel before the match. Whilst there have been a number of face versus face matches in the past, some of them being regarded as some of the best matches in history, particularly matches such as the Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12, and certainly not forgetting the Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania 25, it's been said that Vince isn't a fan of two babyfaces clashing in the ring, so it's possible that one wrestler will be turning to the dark side. In our opinion, it's likely to be AJ Styles as he's been babyface for the past 2 years and it's getting a little stale. Styles has proved he can play a heel quite well as he turned heel on SmackDown Live, so why not on Monday Night Raw? Daniel Bryan's heel turn gave us a refreshing twist on his character and the same could be done with Styles. One thing's for certain though, like any dream match, WWE has shown that it loves to milk it dry, so expect their first encounter at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to be one of many. And number 6, what happened after Raw? After Styles defeated Baron Corbin to be the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship, Rollins would come out to congratulate him whilst at the same time they had an intense stare down until the cameras switched off. Those in attendance, however, would get to see a dark match with Braun Strowman teaming up with champion Seth Rollins to take on Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre in a tag match. Strowman and Rollins ended up getting the win on the pair after Seth hit the curb stomp on Lashley for the pin. But what did you guys think of Raw this week? What do you think of Bray Wyatt's new character? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.